Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a very special video for me because it is a collaboration with Andrew's Clay Creations and more right here on YouTube. He's so great. He's so artistic and he's just, oh, I love his channel. Go see his channel. He's had a YouTube channel for a while, and now that I've started one, we were like, should we collab? Yes we should. That's a great idea. Okay, let's do this. So we're doing it. So for today's collaboration, I asked Andrew if he would make a little monster because he makes monsters oh so well. So he came up with this guy right here, and I need to come up with a place for this little guy to live because right now he's homeless, and that's not good. So let's go ahead and make this little guy a home in the form of a palm top. So let's go clay. Today we're using brown, orange, white, and translucent green and sparkly blue. And now they are all mixed up together. We have a nice translucent blue, green, sparkly color for the water and a nice brownish orange for the ground. And I rolled it out flat and cut them into pretty much mostly circles. Now that they're cut into circles, I'm just going to lay down the brown for the ground first. And I'm just going to use my needle tool to kind of shape out where I want the ground to be, you know, kind of like a little beach inside of this underground cave type of environment. So I'm cutting it into kind of a crescent shape, and I'm just going to lay it over the watercolor so I can just cut along the side and make it like a puzzle piece. And I cut over the edge so I can just pull over. That makes no sense. So I can pull up the water to make it look more like it's actually coming up on top of it instead of them just being placed together. I'm just cleaning up all the edges to make sure that everything is still the right shape and is still a circle. And I'm just smoothing everything down and tucking in all the ends with my chisel tip tool. I decided to take some blue pigment powder that I had and used a fan brush to brush it just all over the water to give it a little bit more blue, and I really like the effect that it came out with. And now I'm just going to clean up the pigment from the dirt because the dirt is not blue, and I'm just adding very little texture to the water. The water's not moving necessarily, so there's not really a big current, but water is water, so things are moving a little bit. So I'm just kind of adding a little texture and going on from there. Now I'm taking some foil and I am texturing up the dirt on the ground because it is more rock-like, and I am just using a toothbrush to give it extra texture. Now I'm using some chalk pastels to just dust over the ground to make it have a little bit more dimension, to make it more realistic looking. Now I am adding a rock to the middle of the water and just making the hole a little bit bigger so there is space. And I'm going to texture it also with the foil. And I'm also going to dust it with the same chalk pastel mixture between the light brown and the dark brown. I'm just going to place it in and press the water bits up against the rock. And I'm going to just fix up the texture. Now I want to work on the accessories for like where he lives, and so I feel like he would definitely have a cook fire to cook his delicious food that he catches in this pool that he lives next to. So I decide to actually dig a little hole into the dirt, and I am putting a black dot to just give it some shadow, and then I'm going to use some brown and some beige clay to make kind of some kindling grass type of stuff that is going to be catching on fire. And then I'm going to take the little wood logs over it and just place it on top. And then I'm going to take some more brown clay and roll it into just 3 little snake log things, and that's going to be his firewood. And I decided he needed somewhere to sit, so I made him a little rock for him to sit while he's cooking his food. Next, the monster definitely needs a place to sleep, so I'm making him a little straw sleep cot. I'm just texturing the beige clay with my needle tool, making it look like it has long strings, like it's made out of straw. And I'm gonna twist up the end and then also texture that. And I wasn't thrilled about the color of it just being beige. So I took some more chalk pastels that had some brown still left on it and then mixed it with yellow to give it this kind of yellowish brown dirty type of look. And I think it ended up fitting in really well with the environment. And next, he needs a basket with his food. So I am taking the same beige clay that I used for the mat, and I am just rolled it out into a ball thing, squished it, gave it a little bit of a hole, and then just adding a little bit of the extra chalk pastel that I had left on it. Now I'm going to make a bunch of fish tails, because clearly he's eating fish. So I take a very small teardrop shape, and then I take my chisel tool and push it right in the middle and very gently pinch the ends of each side. I'm just going to do that with all the rest of them. And I'm just going to place all of the fish tails into the basket. All right, now that it is all baked, I am going to start working on the dome cave area. So I rolled out some foil, and then I rolled some of the same brownish orange clay mixture into some sheets, and I'm just using some Bacon Bond to kind of hold everything together, and just going to cut everything out and frankly hope for the best. I've never done anything like this. I've always wondered how it would work on a palm top to make something like a cave, and honestly I was terrified of doing it, but the whole process was actually really fun, a little frustrating at times, but the foil armature really helped keep the shape, so I'm really happy that that's what I went with. And I'm just going to texture the inside because rocks inside caves are not very smooth. And I'm just going to texture up the edges, the outside. Oh, not the outside yet. Now I'm going to take the chalk pastels, but I'm going to focus more on the dark brown because I feel like the inside of the cave would have a lot more shadow. And I'm just going to kind of go between the two and just fill in all of the inside of the cave. Okay, and I'm going to place my clay on my cutter tool, and I'm going to texture the back because I thought that was an excellent idea. But lo and behold, oh, I got some little edges. But that's okay, I made it work. I took the same circle cutter and just started pressing in lines into the cave wall to make it look like it was more of an organic type of crack. So, crisis averted. And I'm just taking the same chalk pastel mixture, focusing a little bit more on the orangish brown, since this is the outside of the cave. And I am just going to make sure that the size is all right, and take some very slow to come out, translucent, Sculpey, Bacon Bond, whatever. And I'm just going to smooth it onto the palm top itself, trying to get around the bottom, just so it all has a chance to blend. Okay, so to make the vines, I'm using a Mod Podge spray, some grass for like dioramas and model making, some green thread for the vines, and then a work surface. I'm gonna use a plate. So it's hot outside, so let's do this. And I'm going to spray the thread kind of out. Oh, I missed. Again. Kind of getting it, and then you want to kind of roll it and pat it. As you can see, I got a little bit. So we're just going to repeat this process a lot. And you can just repeat until you get the desired look. So there are like two sides to the vines. So I'm just going to continue with the rest of the thread. Thankfully back inside now, I am going to just gather up all of my materials that I need for the outside. I have this kind of viney looking grass, and I am just taking some Mod Podge and kind of just brushing some kind of random squiggles, I guess, going up the cave wall, because I imagine like vines, you know, coming up and down the cave wall growth. Anyway, so I am just going to take some Mod Podge and just lay down grass as I keep going. And that is the inside, and I'm really happy with it. So I'm just going to continue using Mod Podge and placing vines and other little grass pieces. So here is the finished figure. I did glaze the water, kind of over glazed it a little bit. Some areas I got really thick, and I actually really like what I would normally really hate that. But I think it works really well for this pool of water. Let's see, I glazed a little bit up the wall too, because obviously you're in a cave full of water. And we have the vines and all the grass. And the back is all done. Did a lot of things I've never done in this figure as far as using actual little greenery. I'm super happy with the finished result. I think it is the perfect home for Andrew's little monster. That's it, guys. I hope you loved today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell if you haven't yet. And definitely go over to Andrew's channel and watch the video where he made this monster. Give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to his channel too, because he's awesome. And that is... yes, that is all I have for today. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.